In the narrow streets of Peking, beneath a gray shroud of coal smoke, a girl takes her first breath in a home starved of wealth. The year is 1835. Her name is Nara Cixi. Her childhood unfolds amid the cries of street vendors, the cold wind's whistle, and the rice soup's steam. Yet within that ashen world, her eyes blaze with fire, as if destiny itself is whispering secrets in her ear. No one could have dreamed that this little girl would one day slip through the golden gates of the Forbidden City, rise behind silk curtains to become an empress, and hold an empire's fortune in her hands. She'd become the Dragon Lady of the West, a woman who built palaces with gold, toppled thrones with cunning, and shaped a nation with her wealth. In the chaos of the 19th century, as the Qing dynasty crumbled, Cixi's star soared. But this isn't just a tale of ascent. It's an epic painted in gold, stained with blood. From the smoky streets to the shadow of the throne, and into the cold breath of ruin, this journey will pull you in. Are you ready? Because Cixi's dance of wealth is about to begin. In the dim alleys of Peking in 1835, a girl was born into a Manchu family. Her father, Hui Zheng, was a humble clerk. Their home was never free of fireplace smoke, and the chill of the streets seeped through the walls. She grew up in a cramped corner of a vast world, a dreamer in a tiny space. But Cixi stood apart. A spark flickered in her eyes, reaching beyond the haze. A hunger unnamed swelled within her. Years rolled by, and amid the gray fog of those streets, she turned 18. That year, fate dangled a chance before her: the concubine trials for Emperor Xianfeng's court. Thousands of girls vied to step through the Forbidden City's golden doors. Cixi shone like a pearl, slender and graceful, her silky black hair cascading over her shoulders, full lips trembling with a whisper, her curves a mystery beneath the silk. Her deep, smoldering eyes carried a fire that could rewrite destiny itself. In 1851, she rose above the crowd. With the title Noble Orchid, she entered the palace. The Forbidden City stretched out in endless courtyards, its roofs gilded with gold, its halls draped in silk, a quiet symphony of splendor in every corner. She was expected to fade among hundreds of concubines, but Cixi chose to dance in the shadows. Xianfeng was a man worn thin by the ruin of the Opium Wars and the haze of his own addiction. The palace buzzed with intrigue, ministers plotting betrayal, generals weaving schemes in whispers. Cixi turned this chaos into her chessboard. At night, she slipped into the emperor's chambers, her silk robe clinging to her curves, each step a soft melody. The scent of jasmine perfume filled the air like a seductive mist, her eyes locking onto Xianfeng's in the candlelight, holding him captive. She read him poetry, her voice flowing like honeyed venom, and whispered battle strategies, every word an arrow melting his will. With the curve of her lips and the heat of her gaze, Xianfeng found himself ensnared in her spell. In 1856, she bore him a son, Tongji. That child handed her a golden key. No longer just a concubine, she was the mother of the heir. Winning Xianfeng's trust carried her to the heart of the palace. But in 1861, the emperor's eyes closed forever. Opium and war's toll dragged him early into the shadows. Tongji, at 5, became emperor. The palace couldn't be left to a child's hands. Power passed to an 8-man council of regents. Yet Cixi's sights stretched beyond the throne to the golden vaults. She moved to claim authority in her son's name. In the Forbidden City's dim corridors, under the flicker of candlelight, she held secret meetings. Her greatest foe was Su Shun, the council's leader. He saw her as a threat, plotting to banish her from the palace. But Cixi wove a web of allies, bought with gold. One night, in a valley beyond Peking, Sushin's convoy fell into an ambush. Swords clashed, his men crumpled in pools of blood, and he was bound in chains, soon executed. At 26, Cixi claimed the title Empress Dowager Cixi, becoming China's Shadow Queen. Cixi's rise was a story of painting an empire in gold. The Qing dynasty knelt in the mid-19th century, its treasury gutted by the Opium Wars, its lands preyed to British and French merchants. The Taiping Rebellion slaughtered millions, turning cities to ash. But Cixi carved wealth from this wreckage, starting by locking the palace vaults under her control. Taxes flowed to the Forbidden City at her command. Silver gathered from villages, gold rising from towns, riches streaming from far-off lands. Governors, traders, generals, all had to prove their loyalty with gold. It's said a Shandong governor once offered her 10,000 taels of gold, and Cixi rewarded him with a smile. Her fortune didn't stop at bribes. She turned money into an imperial waltz, striking secret deals with foreign traders to prop up Qing's sinking economy. She revived the Silk Road, gripping the trade of tea, porcelain, and silk. Gold poured into her coffers from every ship and caravan. By the 1870s, her wealth swelled to millions of taels, billions in today's dollars. Her palace gleamed with golden thrones, ruby-crusted crowns, and emerald-lined mirrors, every corner a reflection of her grandeur. But Cixi's wild spending stole the show. Each morning, dozens of silk robes were laid before her, each woven with golden threads, hugging her curves and crowning her beauty. She never wore one twice. Her table was less a meal and more a divine feast. Dozens of dishes lined up on golden plates, shark fin delicacies, lotus root sweets, tiger meat steamed in silk pouches. Most went untouched, swept away without a bite. Nights of feasting burned through 100,000 taels, lighting up the Forbidden City in a golden glow. Even her dogs lived like royalty, draped in silk and fed from golden bowls. For one birthday, dozens of desserts filled the table, only to be tossed aside barely tasted. Her love for jewels knew no bounds. When an English envoy gifted her a diamond necklace, she added it to her stash, though her collection already sparkled with countless rubies, emeralds, and golden crowns, each a trophy in her hands. Once, bored, she supposedly flung a ruby ring into a lake just to commission a grander one. This extravagance turned her gold-wrapped world into a dream, while the people wrestled with hunger. That passion peaked with the Summer Palace. In the 1880s, the Qing Navy desperately needed modern ships. Enemies loomed on the horizon. The treasury set aside 30 million taels for them, a fortune beyond imagination back then. But Cixi snatched it, crafting a fairy tale retreat outside Peking, surrounded by shimmering lakes. The marble pavilion glittered with golden leaves. Gardens bloomed with rare flowers swapped out every season. A marble boat rose on the lake, adorned with golden trimmings, never meant to sail. Generals fumed, the people grew restless, ships rusted while foes closed in. Yet Cixi coolly claimed, "Gold outlasts steel." When war with Japan erupted in 1894, the Qing Navy sank helplessly. Her marble boat floated on, a quiet mirror to her lavish obsession. She built loyalty with gold too. Guards and generals bowed to her, bound by her generous gifts. Her will echoed in every palace corner. When a general dared defy her, a chest of gold landed at his family's door the next day, silencing him. Gold was her unseen shield, holding her throne steady until the next storm brewed. Cixi's golden world danced in the shadow of intrigue. Every step a power play, every glance a calculation. Her son Tongji died in 1875 at 19. Official records pointed to smallpox, but whispers in the palace's dim halls hinted otherwise. Cixi, fearing his growing independence, had poisoned him. His death left the throne empty, and she wasted no time filling it. She named her nephew Guangxu emperor. At 4, he was a child, his tiny hands clutching a throne like a toy. Cixi ruled in his name, but as years passed, Guangxu grew, yearning to break free from her golden chains. By 1898, Guangxu hit 27, young, bold, brimming with dreams. His 100 Days reform aimed to modernize China. Western-style banks, railways, schools, a vision to drag the nation into the present. But those dreams needed gold, and Cixi saw them as threats to her wealth and power. Reformers rallied around him. Dissent swelled in the palace. Winds of change rustled every corner. She struck back. One night, footsteps echoed through the Forbidden City's stone halls. Guards slipped into Guangxu's room. The young emperor was shackled and hauled to Yingtai Island, a remote corner of the palace. His reformers met the sword by her order. His dreams drowned in blood. The courtyards fell silent once more. Everyone in the palace knew Cixi wouldn't let her throne or gold slip away. Guangxu lingered as a prisoner on Yingtai Island, trapped between cold stone walls and the lake's lapping waves. Over the years, rumors of coup plots reached Cixi's ears. Whispers claimed he'd tried reaching out to reformers. His cell brimmed with solitude. A man who'd once dreamed of reshaping the world, now forgotten in the shadows. Cixi kept him under a tight watch. In 1908, his life ended, still caged, shrouded in mystery. Talk of arsenic swirled, but the truth vanished in her shadow. Guangxu's end secured her golden throne, yet it carved a wound that sped the empire's collapse. The palace felt like a tomb. Her cunning shielded her wealth from outside threats, too. In 1900, the Boxer Rebellion erupted, one of Qing's last gasps. Peasants and nationalists rose against Western colonial powers, Britain, France, Germany, and America, who were stripping China bare. Peking fell under siege. The Forbidden City burned. Smoke choked even its golden gates. Cixi had to flee. She loaded millions of taels of gold onto carts, rolling through dusty roads. Enemies chased her, but generals bought with her riches got her to Xi'an. There, she raised a makeshift palace, her gold a fortress around her. Once again, wealth was her savior. Her days in Xi'an offered a breather, a golden refuge amid the storm's brief pause. But exile couldn't last. In 1901, the Boxer Protocol brought peace. The foreign powers demanded 450 million taels in reparations, a sum the Qing treasury couldn't bear. Cixi squeezed it from the people. Taxes soared, leaving peasants starving. Her own fortune stayed untouched. Returning to Peking, she found parts of the palace in ruins, scorched walls and shattered stone, echoes of faded glory. Yet her gold still shone, proving her wealth's might once more. But the empire edged closer to collapse. Each year shook the throne's roots a little more. Time slipped by, and Cixi grew older. Her body, once a whirlwind of silk and seduction, began to fade under the years. Guangxu's death left her as the last spark of power, her palace now a faded echo of its golden days. In 1908, at 73, illness pinned her to her bed. On her deathbed, she made one final move. She placed her 2-year-old nephew Puyi on the throne, but it couldn't save the empire? A child's grip couldn't weather the tempest. In 1911, the Xinhai Revolution exploded. The people, crushed by hunger and poverty, rebelled. The Qing dynasty fell, giving way to the Republic of China. Cixi's golden world crumbled into dust and smoke. The palace's golden doors shut for good. When she died, Her tomb brimmed with treasure. Millions of taels worth of jewels, rubies, emeralds, golden crowns were buried with her. Today they are worth billions of dollars. But that hoard didn't rest long. In 1928, warlords raided her grave. Gold was stolen, bones scattered. Her wealth vanished with her. The earth swallowed the empress of old. From Peking's misty streets, she climbed to gold-draped thrones, silencing foes and razing palaces. Yet in the end, her gold couldn't buy her another dawn. The Summer Palace's marble boat still sits on Peking's lake, motionless, a silent storyteller of an empire's fall. Cixi might have been history's first billionaire empress, a dream woven in gold, shadowed by blood. What was her legacy? In her time, China slipped behind the modern world. She chose palaces over ships, intrigue over reform. Yet she wielded money like magic, making merchants, generals, and enemies dance to her tune, every move a game of wealth. When an English envoy asked why China's treasury lay empty, she replied, "The treasury's in my hands, and I'm right here." Her fortune didn't save an empire, but it forged her legend, a saga written in gold, etched in memory forever. Golden Empress Dowager Cixi. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and share to keep exploring.